As always, before we get started, just a quick favor, changing your chat settings so everyone can see what you type, attendees and panelists. That way everyone can see what you type and it's more interesting for everyone. And second, remember, we're going to be trading in live market conditions. So anything we say here or show here is not meant to be a signal, our buyer sales signal. I want to show you how I read the market and what I look for and how to execute trades and maybe some trade management that you can apply on your own situations. This doesn't mean it's the only way to trade or the best way to trade or the one that suits for you. It's the way I do it. And because of the hour time frame that we have for the trading room or a little less, I might go to lower time frames. But again, this is something you all need to evaluate if it's the right time frame for you. I don't always trade this way. I go to lower time frames just because I want to show you more setups in the time we have. But actually, a lot of my trading is on larger time frames. So just clarifying that. Okay, let's get started. I'm looking at the dollar CAD, and I will be looking at the Euro USD again. So the dollar CAD, let me show you something on a daily chart. We have been following this, this channel, down channel, but specifically today we are trying to break these levels right here. You can see we have tested these levels many times, this resistance, and we're trying to break it. Now, because of the I guess there will be some challenges and price won't be breaking this, maybe the supply right here that easily, but it will be trying to break to the upside. So let me just mark that level right there. Yeah, around there. And now if we go to the 5-minute chart, we can see a clearer picture of what it's an uptrend. Okay, that's the breaking point. We broke, pulled back, tested, and now we're kind of trying to go up to the upside. But it's, you can see how price is struggling. So this might be forming a little divergence. If we throw an indicator like a MACD or RSI or something, we might be forming a little divergence here because we are forming higher highs, but you can see how the power is not there. So I would like to go with the trend to the upside. So for that I need to find key levels to join that upside. So I see here a demand level, and I guess there's some demand right there. Let me go to the 1-minute chart. Okay, and you can see the demand right there, but that had been tested already and reacted. So now another touch of that demand might break it to the downside, and this demand here might be a good opportunity to join the uptrend. Okay, so that would be my setup on the USD CAD. So now I need to wait for price to come to this area, and I'll be looking for buying opportunities. And if this gains momentum to the upside, might continue higher, so that might be a good trade. The other thing I'm looking at is the Euro USD. Let me just show you from the daily chart again. We had, and we discussed this a few weeks ago. We're trapped in this consolidation. We finally broke to the downside. We moved sideways 1 day or two, and now we're moving. We might be starting the next leg lower to the downside. Now the question is, how strong is this movement to the downside, and also how far can it go? And for that, let's divide this analysis. So how far can it go? I need to go back here and look for some demand, okay, to see where the buyers will come into the market and try to push the market to the upside. And I frankly don't see a lot of demand. If I go to the, I guess you could say this is a demand zone. But if we see that on lower time frames, let me show you that. We have to go a lot. Okay, just look at the formation. This doesn't look like a very strong demand. Okay, we do see the movement up, not that aggressive. We do see a lot of tails, so we see this compression here. So this isn't a super clear demand. There was some demand here that created this movement, but we have already penetrated that demand here. So I don't see a lot of demand here that will be stopping this movement to go down. The only problem now is the power of the breakdown, because the red line is the one we draw here, the breaking point. And since then, you can see how the break hasn't been that strong. There's no supply. There has been one push lower, and then a compression, and another push lower, and then a lot of sideways movement and compression, a little move lower, and now we're compressing. So there's not a lot of power on this break to the downside. So I guess I want to be shorting this market, but the strength in the movement is not there. So we need to be careful of movements to the sudden movement to the upside. You can, if we go to the 5-minute chart, you can see there's a push lower, and then all these kind of channel forming. This is a lower low than this one, but very, very weak. You can see there wasn't a clear break here to go down. And now this has formed a lower low than this one, but again, it's very, very weak. You can see that there wasn't a clear breakout to the downside. So I guess for the Euro USD, we can either buy on the bottoms and sell on the tops. That would be a good plan for the Euro USD. And the dollar CAD, I've told you also my plans. I didn't see anything else. Let me see if I see another setup quickly. Yeah, the dollar franc. Let me see how big is this. This range is just 10 points, 10 pips. So we have this nice consolidation. So we could be buying these bottoms here and closing here and maybe selling here. But we have the risk that this will end up breaking either to the downside or to the upside. So we need to be careful with that because of the where's the market right now. Again, we're on might be an expansionary day, but again has been very, very weak. So I won't be trading this. So I will focus either on the dollar CAD or the Euro USD. That's the plan. And now let's see if we find a setup. Let me just bring my depth of market here. To the 1-minute chart. Okay, so I want prices to come a bit lower, and I'll start building a buy position. Sometimes I tell you that a good target, like for our trading room, is to achieve 10 pips and to consistently do that. So we'll try to do that. It's not something I advise to do. I don't believe in arbitrary targets like the 10 pips or something like that. But let's see if we can pull 10 pips off the market. So what's the distance between this? Yeah, I really need the market to come a little lower so I can start buying. So let's hold. Anyone has a setup or something lining up that we can discuss together while we wait? And of course, if I start buying here, then my stop loss, all my stops will be, below this this low right there. And if the market comes higher, then I will start, around these areas. I will start selling into this market. Let's see, David, pound dollar sell possibilities, but what time frame are you looking at? Daily? To miss the setup, just okay. Yeah, I see the selling potential on the pound. We had this break, and maybe there's some supply there. And we've tested that already, and then we're moving lower. So I guess a test of these lows might be, it's very possible, a test of those. Dollar yen, 5 minute go long. Yeah, I was also looking at this pair. If we go to the daily, we're on a very important bullish day, and there's a very nice demand over there. Not that nice, but some demand over there. So yeah, I agree. Maybe if we get a test of these levels, we can look to buy this pair. I also like this one. Let me bring it here. So we have these 3 pairs to work with. Then you put an idea, Euro, AUD. Let me bring that. I don't think I have it. Euro. Why is there a gap there? So you're looking to buy, then you're looking to buy this this market at what price? Oh, there you go. Yeah, to these areas. Yeah, I see the buying opportunity here, especially the way it's going down, this compression channel. If it continues to go that way to, these levels, I would definitely buy with you. That's a nice one. Let me see, I'm not missing anything. Okay, so we're getting ready on our setups. Now we need to let's see if we can buy here. I like the overextension here. Let me see if we can. this. Stops, they need to be there. Let's see what happens. If it goes deeper, if prices go deeper to this area, and let's mark the possible entry points there and there. So if it goes deeper, I will buy again, depending on how price is reacting. Okay, that's a very powerful, very strong movement to the downside. So let's see how reacts on that area, and I will decide if I add to the position or I will just, take the loss. Let me see also what's going on here. I also want to start selling these, but I will focus only on one pair. Okay, so on demand areas, we have 3 valid entry points, correct? So we have the breaking point, which is there. We have the decision point, which could be there or maybe down here. And of course, the bottom of the demand area. So let's see if buyers coming now and try to push this higher. See how prices are holding, that line right there. Okay, they will try now to push all the way to the bottom side. Okay, look at the buyers coming in. I didn't buy again. That was my bad. This was a very fast movement. I needed to buy again here. I missed that one. Okay, that was I wasn't quick enough. But you can see the reaction now and the buyers coming in on the demand area. So this same example that we are showing now on the 1 minute chart and 5 minute chart, you can look for in all time frames. Okay, you'll see the same reaction. Now we can now adjust our stops, because let's clean a little bit. Now this has formed a pivot. So now we don't want to hold our an extra leg lower, correct? So now we can adjust our stops to this point. We reduce risk, and this can end up turning into different scenarios. This might be turning into head and shoulders pattern. So if that happens around that area where it's now, might start reacting and forming a leg, a leg lower, and this might be forming a reversal pattern, or this will gain momentum and it will continue higher. So we need to be, cautious of that, because this can easily turn, around against us. Although I don't see a lot of supply here on the 1 minute chart, okay, but we need to be careful of that. So let's see if there's momentum in our favor. And if this starts turning around, I will just close the trade, okay? Either for a break-even trade or a minimum, loss. Okay. Yeah, I like how it's gaining momentum. You see how small are these bars to the downside, and how these up bars are forming, quite larger and larger. I want this to continue, to the upside. And if we only, if you only want to scalp and get to your targets, in different trades, so you can always, bank profits. We're 5 pip up, so we can take that profit and then look for a new setup and, complete your goal or whatever. Okay, I like that 5 minute chart in our favor. I want to see, this bar holding there and then closing there on the 5 minute chart. That would give me confidence in this trade. If this starts going down, I might close the trade. What's going on other? Okay, look on the Euro USD. It's amazing. Look how we draw this box here. Look how price just touch it and then collapse to the downside. So those are the key levels we're always talking about. And there's the dollar yen doing exactly what we thought it could do, holding the support and pushing higher. I chose the dollar CAD, which I don't know. So let's see how that turns out. Could you zoom out? What do you mean zoom out? Like this? What do you mean you can see the current price? You can't see the price bars? You don't see these bars here? your screen or something. Okay, this is we're 8 pips up. I think we will start seeing some, resistance here. So we need to be aware that we might see a retracement now. Also, you see how this market has moved all these bars just to the upside. Those overextension moves tend to end. It's very, very unlikely to see this just shutting up. So for this to continue up and up and up, I expect to see either a sideways movement and then a continuation, or a pullback, a retracement, and then a continuation. Okay. Or of course the unlikely movement, which is what's happening now. And guys, right now it's just trade management. Okay. Right now, around that area, that's that's the scalp take profit. We're 11, 10 pips up. Okay, so that's the target for the trading room. So you can take profits, or if you think and your analysis is like what we said, there could be a continuation and a follow through. Euro USD broke down, and dollar yen hasn't, but maybe there will be a similar behavior on pairs. So these might also break to the upside. So sometimes you have to manage your trades. Sometimes it's worth letting them run. Sometimes it won't break higher, and it's better to take profits and then enter another trade. If this has broke down, now we have new opportunities and new information, because now you see the power. We have finally seen some power on a breakout. Okay, this looks like a solid breakout. I would like to see some continuation, some follow through, but at least it's a more powerful break than these ones before. So now this has created a new supply, and of course there's the breaking point. So if this continues and breaks lower, any kind of retracement to this area or this area, I'll look to short. Yeah, John, this is great of the MT5. It's something you don't have on the MT4, but with the MT5, if you click here, so you link the depth of market to the pair you're trading. So you just click and you don't have to worry about closing and opening. That's awesome for me. That I do like going when I have time in front of the charts, going to lower time frames. It's super useful. Okay, now let's go here. And now I like going to, like, if I see the break on a 5-minute chart, I will wait for, I might go to the 1-minute chart and wait for retracements here on a 1-minute chart, and then I'll start to sell more and more and more. Will you ever consider trading on an iPad Pro? No, I don't think so. Why is that? You're short Euro USD, holding position for a possible swing trade. 1728. 1728, where's that? Ah, so you caught the break. and you're holding a short, yeah, that's a good call. I mean, if you go to the daily chart, we have moved today. We have covered 50 pips. When the average daily range, it's 80 pips. So this might continue if it covers, its average. This might continue a few pips lower, maybe 30 more pips to the downside. And I like the fact that it's finally showing some strength, because it wasn't showing that before. On the 5-minute chart, I would like to see some follow through and know this stopping right there, because this might reverse. But if it does continue, I show you there was no demand, back to really hold this. So if you're holding a sell here, it might be worth holding it for a swing trade. That's a nice one. Portable, seems everyone trades on laptops only. Yeah, on my laptop I also trade, but not not on an iPad. Okay, what's going on with our trade? So we had what I told you, the retracement, and now let's see if there's continuation all the way to the top. Okay, we had the pullback. Now let's see if there's some follow through. And if it does, it might, might test those highs. Let's see if we can get it. And if I have got the two positions, I told you I was low in this one. But if I had two positions now, I might close one for the scalp, profit, which would be around now and this line, the take profit line, and I would maybe hold the other one for longer. If I go to the hourly chart, let's see if there's some supply here. Yeah, there isn't many. There's some here, but there's no clear supply. So if this actually breaks, it might gain a lot of momentum. That's a big if. Okay, I want to see that level holding, because if that doesn't hold, price might go all the way down to this area. This on the 1-minute chart at least looks like a little demand. So price might, if it breaks that level, might go all the way down to that area before going up. So I don't want to hold that movement. So that's good that it held. Now it's kind of moving sideways. So now there needs to be a push higher. Of course, there's a chance we for the rest of the day, we don't break anything and we start moving just sideways, ranging here. Like dollar yen has been doing. So we need to have all scenarios. We need to be open to all different scenarios. Do I only trade Forex, Johnny? Like actively, yes. I invest in other assets, but I'm more like buy and hold. My active trading, I trade Forex. Okay, moment of truth. We want to see the break now. We want to see the break to the upside. So let's see if we can get it. I guess I could trail my stop to that area, because I told you if this level, if price breaks those levels down, it will go all the way to this, to these lows. So we could bring our stops and secure some profit. We need to be careful when we do that, because sometimes we get stopped out even if we're in profit, and then that's when market goes in our favor, correct? I really want to see where this 5 minute candle closes. Ideally, I want it has one more minute or 1.5. So I want this candle to close on the tops. For sure, yes. Let's go to Euro pound. Where is it? Euro pound. What you looking here, Rushun? What do you want to do here? You want to sell based on what? You want to sell that area. Based on what you want to sell that area? Okay, you see how it's forming that tail right there on a 5 minute chart? I really don't like that. I want, the market needs to push higher. It's fighting there all that resistance. I can bring my stop to that low. Because a break of this low now, that would be a reversal point, and that might push the market lower. So in my mind, I will pay attention for the market when it's on these levels. And I might just book the profits when market goes there. there's something called, guys, there's something called a time cycle on in the markets. So we always look at the price risk that we take on the trades, but there's always a time factor and a time risk on our trade. So we need to make sure we are the right amount of time in every trade, because the longer we're on a trade that it's not moving in our favor or doing what it's supposed to do, we're more time exposed to sudden movements that might go and turn the market against you. So so I want to compare how large has been these sideways movements or the pullbacks in the market. So I see here sideways movement or 22 bars. This pullback was 9 bars. This pullback 6 bars. This sideways movement 7 bars. So besides this movement, which was 20 bars, all movements have been around 9 bars. And now that sideways movement has been 14 bars. Okay, so if these have continued to this, going sideways, you also need to consider, maybe taking profits, because it's taking longer for the market to move either to the downside or to the upside. Okay, so there's the break. Of course, it will face now the highs. Let's see how it reacts there. And there's a lot of, we have 2 more minutes on this 5-minute chart. So let's see if we can, if it holds the tops and closes near the top, then I will hold. If it reverses, I will take profits. Okay, now I want this to start building momentum in my favor. Okay, there's the break. Let's see if we can break. Okay, you see how it touched the line, the breaking point. It's testing it. So it will either, penetrate it and go, and we'll see a break now, or it will, sellers will come in and they will push the market lower. Okay, you see how it's getting, rejected right there? We have 5 more seconds. Okay, that's a sign that the sellers are there. So we might see the break, but we might see also this market just start ranging right here. Let's see if other pairs break. What are they doing? Yeah, pound broke. Okay. So guys, I guess the trade management will be very individual and very personal how you manage it. You might take profits now. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a great place for taking profits. If you believe this will gain momentum in your favor, so you might consider just holding that and waiting for the the break and maybe continuation, and maybe on the daily you will have a larger and larger movement. Once you're on a winning trade, it's much more easier to manage trade. You can bring your stops, whatever you want. Let's just go to the example here. This is broken today. Yeah, so if I believe right, Roshan, you want prices to go to these levels, then to short. Yeah, it might go down. Besides this demand here and that supply, but that supply has been tested already here. So besides that demand here, I don't see anything. No, of course we have the supply here. So after a break of this channel, this will either break to the upside or go all the way to the demands. So I'm not super sure on this pair. What would I do? But you have a signal. If your strategy is telling you you should be shorting, just do that in short. Because you need to take the signals your market, your strategy dictates you. The overtrade order flow. The overtrade order flow. No, not always. I don't always trade order flow, but I trade price action. Order flow is there all the time. So I do identify key levels, demands, supplies, supports, resistance, patterns, and then I just flow with the market. Yeah, supply and demand. Yeah, not only supply and demand, like from the classic way of trading, but I do see those levels and consider them in my trading. Okay, guys, I think that's it. Thanks for coming. I don't know what would I do with this trade. I might just bank the profits. I'm not sure. I will decide it. But thanks for coming, and I guess I'll see you. That was a fun. We didn't do much, correct? It was kind of an easy session, but sometimes the market just help us, and some other times we need to work harder. So now my work is just to wait. I don't have to do much more than that, or just bank profits. Any case, guys, thanks for coming. I guess I'll see you next week. Happy trading, guys. Bye bye.